Today we're crash landing into a desert world. No, this isn't Dune, but much like Dune, our crew includes a few chemically dependent maniacs. At its core, Dune really is just a story about religious space junkies, and our boy Carter fits right in. So let's get to the task at hand. Objective 1, crash, nailed it. Objective 2, assess our surroundings. So we got some sticks, and we got a cactus. And Objective 3 will be to establish dominance over the local wildlife, because you have to let the desert know who's really in charge. Let's get started. Alright, desert region, normal moon, very hard difficulty, seed is Dune, let's get this going. Gotta go with our boy Carter. He likes a drink and is happy to laugh his days away. Lara for farming, Alice for fighting, Yoko for crafting. Very interesting start location. You can see we're kind of pinned between two canyons. We're gonna build a base to the best of our ability. I'm really glad that the person I brought to be the fighter is instantly crying and the farmer is trying to calm him down. Carter is just watching everything in disbelief. He's like, I am so screwed. Yoko's just in the corner in shame. Alright, and away we go. So let's observe these sticks. Let's cut down a few sticks. We need to start building a shelter as soon as possible. We're going to look at some melons. It's a great day for all. And there's a few other plants that we can look at. Right here we have bright-leafed plants. These are cotton, so that's really cool. We got a little bit of tube plant going on over here. And it's time to start looking at killing something and eating it as soon as possible. Now, some of these wildlife are actually very, very hard to kill. We have nobody with weapons, so we want to immediately start scavenging with at least two of our individuals while the others start to move around and get some materials. It does look like we're going to have more stone than wood. We're going to have to be really smart about how we build because we don't have a lot of resources. This is actually a tad bit scary. So we need to first establish an area. Right here is good. I think we're going to have our defensive areas somewhere around here. I'm going to place our first storage right here, and then we're going to also get up a few sleeping spots. We're going to put some temporary shelters around these zones. So I think what we're going to do is kind of put our base like so, and I'll leave some blank spots for maybe a dartboard or two. Let's get this show on the road. Everybody, yeah, Talus is, he's having a moment. He's having a moment. But we're going to get everybody to work here real soon. At least Carter and Laura are moving along very nicely now. One day Yoko will do what I need her to do. We're going to speed this up just a tad bit. There we go. At least we can, at night it's going to get pretty cool. So we're going to get some sticks from over here. And these are going to be great because we can now go into a shelter where we need sticks and hay. So we're going to take a peek for some hay. We have a lot to do. I definitely want to start observing these plants so that we can make bandages. We got a little bit of scavenged iron, and that can be used to help us out too with some shelter. Let's take a peek up here. Yeah, not bad, not bad. Once we get those melons in. Oh, we got the small bushes. Perfect. Once we observe these melons, we can start planting our future food crops. I would love to find some grain cob. Now, one way to actually see a bunch of stuff in this game is to kind of zoom out and then just highlight a bunch of stuff. And then, so here you can see we have blade grass, bright leaf plants, rounded cacti, tube plants, succulent, twisted, dry trees, rock chunks. These are all great. Sleeping, stockpile. So we don't have any of the things that I wanted. Right here we have blade grass next to us, so we're going to observe one of them and cut the rest down, because we're going to need a combination of this hay and sticks to build our first shelters. So there we go. We got some good stick action going on. It's a beautiful day. We got our chemical fire over here to keep us warm. I'm sure that's not a problem. I'm sure inhaling all that all that debris is pretty good for them. We're going to get up a small stick rack, and we're going to start hunting animals here to get some food on the docket. We're going to get ourselves a scrap metal cooking station right there. Our first shelters can now get up because we have everything we need. So we place things in a way. I like to use my first shelters to create a nice area for defenses. So I do it like this. And then what you do is there's only 2 points of entry. So you have two melee people fighting off bugs, and you can kind of bottleneck your enemies or the game that way. It's pretty good. We're going to let him get to it. Everybody's having a good time. Once these shelters get up here momentarily, we're going to be in good shape. Boom, boom. Look at that. Look at that. This is great. We can see with the roof on now, things are looking really sharp for us. We got 2 days worth of food, and that's not bad. We're going to come over to our cook station. We need to get a little bit of either grain, veggies, or meat. Most likely we're going to be cooking bug stew here for a bit. Alice is looking intently at the grass. I need to get probably... Yeah, Talus has a good science bonus. Carter is awesome because he can basically do anything. So I'm going to have Carter come over here and be our intellectual type. And we're going to start mining some stone. And we're going to start looking around. Now, this isn't entirely the best start location. You want to have as much salvage as possible. That's how you get your first early game weapons. We may get attacked by bugs and have absolutely no way to defend ourselves. So that is not ideal. So another thing that we want to do very quickly is pop up another shelter. I'm going to do it right here and stack on to all these gents and get our first productions up. So we can get ourselves a cook stove, a chopping block. What we would like at this point is a research desk, and we're going to do scrap for now. And we want to immediately start getting some technology going here. Palace is now scavenging. This is great. And we also want to start observing all of the plants possible. So I'm just going to select anything and everything that I can find. And then we can start doing some harvesting. So let's speed this up just a tad bit. All right, we got our research station up. Let's click the research station and let's look at our breakthrough technologies. Every seed is going to be a little different. So here's what we got. Ore prospecting, not bad. Sleep training, really great. The synthetics, not good or bad, but we are fighting a lot of bugs, so this could be a way for us to get some advanced materials. Fuel fermentation, this is beautiful, because fuel is going to be necessary for our first early game defenses, which are going to be... We're going to have flamethrowers at some point in the future. So the first thing that I would like to do is get lightning rods up. This is something that's overlooked a lot, but if you get hit by lightning twice, it causes permanent brain damage. And as you can see, we have enough of that going on already. So we want to avoid further brain damage. And we also want to get into weaponsmithing. We are in the desert. I would like to get into tailoring to make straw hats. Then I would like to get construction basics and metal refinement so that we can start making some crossbows or better tools. So let's go down that route and let them get to work. Go back into play mode. We have a good amount of medical supplies here, but I am quite worried about being able to survive some of the first attacks. So, objective is to make sure we don't get brain damage. Second objective is to get some weapons. Alright, look at that. Yoko is idling. Well, I'm going to have Yoko come over here and observe grass. That's what happens when you don't participate. You have to observe the grass. Alright. So, we got our drying rack station up over here. It is time to start hunting as soon as we get a weapon. The early stages of the game are quite enjoyable. They're serene. You haven't yet witnessed the horrors that are to come. Alright, we have discovered the barrel cacti. So we're going to start harvesting as much as we can. We can also start planting our own, which is very advisable. And it does really well in this climate. I'm going to put it a little bit away from the base so that we have room. And we're going to try to plant as much of this as possible so that we have a good late game food supply. I'm going to try to be smart here and only place it on terrain that has a good yield. So let's get this up. There we are. So I'll have Laura come out here, start planting immediately. We're going to get some nice food in here shortly. They'll be able to eat this raw, which is great. They're a little cold. Oh god, it's already a thunderstorm. It's already a thunderstorm, not good. Alright, I'm gonna get Talus over here researching as fast as possible. It's probable someone's gonna get shot in the face with lightning. Oh no. Oh no, Yoko got hit by lightning. Not good. Not good. Not good. So that's why you want it. I've never had it do a thunderstorm this fast before, so that's not good. Okay. So getting hit once by lightning, bad. Getting hit twice by lightning, very bad. So we're going to put a lightning rod up right next to all of us. Oh my gosh. We're going to go into our production. We're going to go to our workbench. We're going to build a metal workbench. We need to start getting this going as fast as possible. Farming is doing great. It might be advisable for us to build our houses out of brick since we can grow hay. I am going to start planting a small group of hay and probably sticks. We can see right here we have a 90% growth. These don't need to be big at the beginning, and eventually you won't even really need them. And the same with bushes. We're just going to grow enough that we have something in the backup. And what's cool too is we're getting sticks, well, planting sticks, so that's a win-win. Now, we want to observe the twisted plant. We're already observing those other plants, and yeah, we're going to need some food. Let's observe the dry tree. A very dry tree. I don't know what's to observe, and we're doing a good job. So what are we missing over here? Sticks? Okay, cool. So our quest for sticks continues. We're going to need quite a bit of these, so let's go that route. Everybody's doing great. I am going to have Carter come over here and construct this lightning rod. First camp. All right, they want to not sleep in the dirt. I don't like that they're already making demands. Oh god. Lightning just hit a sleeping spot. Okay. Okay. So there's another lightning storm. When this happens, you do not want to go outside. Oh god, Laura. All right. Well, Laura's going to risk it in the name of, you know, people not starving to death in the future. But yeah. So we'll pause the game real quick. We'll also want to place a lightning rod where people are going to be working a lot. So we're going to place 2 lightning rods over here in our farming area. One thing about the cacti is that they need a lot of room. Grain doesn't. It's one of the reasons I like it. So, okay, I feel like we're safe now, so I'm going to let people get back to work. I think we're safe. I'm so sorry, Yoko. Yoko's going to be kind of screwy for a bit. Just a little, you know, lightning kind of hurts. So pain, movement, manipulation, just some minor things. So there, right there, Yoko just got saved by the lightning rod. So yeah, we're winning. We're winning at life right now, but it seems to be following Yoko. Gon does not like Yoko, and I don't know if it has anything to do with the Beatles, but I imagine that it does. I imagine it's retribution. So there we go. Let's get up these shelters. Perfect. Now we're not sleeping in the rain. Got a little bit of shelter action going there. We definitely want to get the shelter up above this area, so it looks like we need a little bit of hay. Let's pause the game real quick. We're going to start mining out rock so that we can get our first house constructed here momentarily. And everybody's doing a good job, but yeah, we need that long bladed grass. There we go. Over here. We're going to cut a little bit of this up so that we can build a little bit more shelters, but things are coming along. We have our first agriculture. All right, we're having our first celebration. Campfire sitting. The survivors are celebrating the fact that they are still alive and kicking at an impromptu party near the campfire. That's a good thing to celebrate, yeah. Everybody hasn't died yet. I mean, cool. It's a great day. All right, crafting station. We want to start rocking bandages. We want to have at least 30 something odd bandages at any given time. I'm going to go to 40. I'm going to throw Talus on researching weapons. We need to get everybody with at least a spear. Okay, it looks like we need a little bit of storage room. So we could do some weird stuff in the back here. We're going to do a storage there. Storage there. Storage there. We'll see if they can navigate that or if they have issues. Gonna wake Carter up and have him start building this immediately. There we go. Get ourselves a little bit more storage in the back here. Perfection. Interesting is that one has 3 shelves and those have... Oh, it's because it's the bottom shelf is raised. That's really interesting. A weird little terrain thing going on there. Alright, Carter, get over here and research weaponry, please. We need to get weapons or we're going to be punching these... we'll be stabbing the bugs with knives. I guess that's actually pretty Dune right there. Okay. And then we can start hunting animals here momentarily. I think we're going to run out of food at the rate things are going. We still have emergency rations. We have just enough food for a couple of days. Let's go off and look to see what we can scavenge from our surroundings. This is a very difficult map to start on the desert. It has very low resources. Carter has hypothermia because it is 16 degrees outside. That's not good. Alright. Well, they can get around the campfire. I think I'm actually going to move the campfire inside to create an area of warmth for them. So I'm going to have Carter move this campfire. I know it looks like Talus already has it, so we'll let Talus do it. And I'm going to get Carter after he's done scavenging, because we might get a weapon. We need a weapon really badly. I need to have him start researching. Okay, now we have weapon making. So we're going to come over here to the crafting station, go to our crafts. Doesn't look like... It looks like we need trees. We can make short bows. So we will do this 4 times. I'm going to have Yoko immediately come over here and start crafting short bows. Any weapon we can get is going to be advantageous for us. I'm a little scared because we have not found weapons yet. And we're going to increase our barrel cacti area. Looks like this didn't do me too well. So need to extend this field out. We'll have the lightning rod. There we go. This is looking a little bit sharper. A little bit sharper. There we go. I'll have the lightning rod and sections over here to keep it good. But yeah, we need to plant a little bit more. All right. We're going to get our first bow and arrow here pretty soon. Let's look around to see if there are any wrecks that we can salvage that are close to us. It's a little dangerous to get too far away from your main base. See that food is coming in very well with cactus fruit. We got some hunting to do. Very good. Ooh, that's a nice little pretty area. Observe the big pointy silicone. All right. So the first person who's going to get a weapon is definitely going to be Talus. All right. Talus is our warrior. He is awesome. Nice. We got a little bit of heat. Now it's 90 degrees inside. All right. Cool. Got ourselves a nice little warmth. Got ourselves a crafting station. Nice. Carter's making some bandages. It's always good to have bandages on hand. There we go. We probably need some more. We're going to get attacked here pretty soon by the bugs. I'm glad that we have at least one bow and arrow. And let's go to the research. We've got tailoring procced. So spaceship deconstruction is very, very important to continue to deconstruct. Then electric grids. We need to get a house up and get an air-conditioned room so we don't die in the summer. We also need to start making some straw hats. All right, Laura's out. Finally scavenging once more. We're making good progress. Looks like I went a little bit outside the area. Eek. All right, yeah, we definitely want to destroy that. That was a mistake. So let's empty and deconstruct this. We don't want our fruit outside. We want it under the roof. That will increase the longevity. You can see right here, best stored frozen, outside 12 days, under a roof 30 days. That gives us 30 days our food sits there. Laura's doing a little bit of idling, which I don't like too much. Alice, for some reason. Everyone, yeah. All right, you're going to go back to researching. Yoko is going to make another short bow, and we're going to start hunting, get some leather, maybe make some leather armor here momentarily. Things are going really well for us outside of like those basic little things, but let's continue to get some food supplies. Let's continue to observe the plants. So I think I'm going to send Laura to observe. We need to start getting cotton. We got a dust storm coming in, so that's no bueno. All right, and we're at a salvage, and we did not get any good advanced weaponry. So we have a little bit more of the cacti over here. A lot of stone over there. That's perfect. Carter's at risk of meltdown. That's not good. Look at that. We got some more bandages. We got another bow and arrow. So I think I'm going to give the next weapon to Carter, since he learns things very quickly. Carter is awesome in that regard. Nice. Now we can harvest these cotton. So I'm going to start getting out cotton areas. Nice. Over here we got a 75% growth. We're going to want quite a bit of cotton. This is going to be used for a lot of the things that we need early game, like clothing and things that help us with heat. We're going to have a big old field of cotton right there. And we'll also place another lightning rod out here. You want to make sure you have lightning rods in all the areas that you're working. It's very important. Seem to be running low on food, but that's okay. I think it's time in the morning for us to go hunt something that's really easy to kill. We're going to harvest more cotton and just start making a lot of bandages. So let's look for our first foods. They're going to be other animals. These guys over here, these bloated insects, very easy to kill if you get enough damage on them. Probably the easiest thing for us to kill. I'm going to take Talus and Carter. They don't get to eat today. They got to go earn their keep. And we're going to just try to kill this insect, and we can run around. We have less than a day of food, so we got to get over here and do this quick. Okay. So, we're going to do a little bit of a leapfrog thing, where we're just going to bounce the enemy between both of us. So let's do this. Talus, there we go. Nice. Talus got a good shot. Now it's running away, but it is bleeding. Nice, and we got some good shots off. So, eventually it will turn to attack us if it deems us a threat enough. There we go. It got some courage inside of it now. But, nope, never mind. It booked. Alright, we got ourselves a kill. We're going to undraft. I'm going to have Carter come over here and butcher this thing. Oh, nope, Talus, I guess, is going to do it. Alright, so butcher. And then we'll bring back this beautiful bug meat. Now, this stuff spoils, so we'll want to haul it. Oh, no. We got 22 aggressive animals. That's not good. These things, we're going to get a lot of bug meat off this, so we got ourselves a food supply coming up. But we did not get enough people with weapons. Okay. So, the way that I want to do this right now is I want to lay traps out like so. Traps are probably going to save us. So we're going to get as many traps around our immediate area as possible. Same over here. Luckily, you don't step on traps, so we'll get those going. I'll have Carter build the traps over here. I'll have Talus build the traps over here. And we'll get that going. This is probably going to be what saves us from this attack right here. It's going to be pretty crazy. Eventually, I'll use fencing and other things to kind of push the bugs in the direction that I want them to go. We're doing a good job. We're doing a great job. All right. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be enough. So I think they're going to come from this direction. Definitely want some back support over here, but overall, I think we need to be a little smart here. And now that we got the bug meat, and we're going to get a lot of bug meat, we're going to go over to our cooking station, go to quick recipes, so we can make veggie stew. We'll do that until we have 3. And we can make meat soup. So we'll do that until we have 3 as well. I think that's great. So I believe we have a good defensive area now. Laura's over there planting. What is Yoko doing? Ah, here they come. Okay, so everybody needs to drop everything they're doing. We need to draft, and we need to come together over here. I'm going to put Talus here, and I'm going to put Carter here. I'm going to put Yoko at the front. I'm going to put Laura at the back. And we're just going to try to do the best we can. I'm actually going to have Talus use his bow. We want to do as much damage as possible. So I think what we'll do is we'll put Carter and Talus here. And we'll put Yoko on the side. We'll try to get a couple shots off as they come in. There's quite a bit of them. If they don't circle around, then I'll position Laura in a way to help out. We luckily have knives. We did not get any logs. So we have a few things that we need to do. Crossbows would be nice. But we're going to get a nice jump in our food supply from this. So we'll use Talus. Anyone that we can kill is good. Okay. So now what we want to do is retreat these gents back. And have Yoko step in here. There we go. They got killed by the traps. Alright, so far so good. A little intense, but yeah, the traps definitely help. Yoko's going to get just a little screwy. Some of the bugs are going to try to break in from the side. So far so good. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Should probably poke out a little bit. I'm going to move my archers up just a tad. Uh-oh. Alright. I'm going to have Laura come in and help out in melee combat. Doing okay for now. A little bit of chaos going on, but not bad. Alright. Not bad. Get the dude in the trap. Keep everybody together as a tight unit. Perfect. Okay, they destroyed my rack. Not cool, bug. Not cool. Alright, we did it. So now the objective here is the butcher. So you want to select it and tell them all to get to work. I'll let Yoko heal herself because she did get a little a little chopped up there. But we'll butcher all these animals, and that will bring in a lot of food for us. Make stews, a lot of good stuff. Can't believe they broke my stick rack. Not cool, man. Alright, I'm gonna have her repair the stick rack. And now we have all these traps to help us out. You can move all the traps, so don't be afraid to put them down. Move them at a later point. We want to get all of these bugs off the ground. All this meat. The longer you wait, the less meat you get. So you can see we're already getting a lot less, but we got a good chunk of meat right now. That's really good. Gonna wake people up to cut up these bugs, because we need this meat to get through the storms. Alright, Laura is sick. 8 on foot. Okay. So there's a couple of things that we can do now. We've got a lot of good stuff going on. We do have the capacity to build tables. So we can build ourselves a stone table. And I think we'll do that over here. And we'll put a couple of seats of stone. There we are. Now we can eat. It would be advantageous to get another shelter up over here, but a little hard with the rod. So we're going to move the rod here. And then we will get up a shelter over that so that they don't have to eat outside. And then I'm also going to move these gents over this direction. We can put the shelter up. Very beautiful. And we'll get ourselves a stick shelter up now. Perfect. Now we have a nice enclosed eating area. We're just kind of growing this naturally. So far, I think we're doing great. Making food. Everybody is nourished. But we need to keep going out hunting and salvaging as much of the resources that we can. Serve. There might be a few more animals that we can eat, so we should definitely go out and start killing them now. Nice, getting the cotton going. Got a big thing of food that will come in at some point. Alright. Heat wave, not good. Not good. Okay, so tailoring. We need to get tailoring up ASAP. And start making hats. Right now it says heat wave and it's 42 degrees outside, so that's really funny. At least that's funny to me. Perfection. Some of these animals are a little too tough for us to take with just bow and arrow. But as you can see, the beginning bugs aren't too hard, but things are going to get more difficult as we progress. So we do need to kind of get our act together here. Alright, we have tailoring now. It's starting to get hot. The first summer is kind of like just showing you what it can be like, and it isn't that intense. I'm going to put this outside for the time being just because I don't have room for it anywhere else. Okay, insufficient material. Not good. Okay, so we have a bit of a problem. We need to probably come over. I need to observe this tree, and then I need to cut it down. So I'm going to send Talus out here to observe this big tree. We're going to look for any other trees that we could potentially cut down to get the ball rolling on making hats. Looks like over here, not great. We also need to find grain as fast as possible before the bugs eat it. Oop, there's some dead animals over here we can butcher. Perfect. Oh yeah, things are not looking good for us. We need to get some of this stuff nice. Oh man, something came through and just killed everything. I'm gonna go get this food. I changed my mind on everything. We're gonna go get the food. Only 13 of that is left. Something big came through. Killed a bunch of stuff. All right. We definitely need to get grain growing as fast as possible. Welcome back to the second chapter of Stranded Alien Dawn, the only survival game where the real enemy isn't the alien bugs, it's your own thoughts at 2 in the morning. Today we'll be tackling these 3 things. Traps, because nothing says welcome to the neighborhood like a spike pit. Fences, to keep those bugs out. And technology. We need to get flamethrowers. We need cool stuff. We've got a happy little raptor over here. I assume he's happy. I think that's the face of happiness. We have a great start. Got ourselves a nice cloth blossom field. And over here we have our succulent barrel cacti, which we will eat 2,406 the cactus fruit. Now, in order to get hats, we first need to love ourselves. I don't know. We need some metal alloys, or we need wood. Now, there's not a whole lot of wood, and metal is hard to come by because we don't have a whole lot that we can salvage from. So we are going to look in several directions. Ooh, over here. Nope, nope. Not wood. Negative. But we do have some taller cacti. They look like trees. Well, at least we have enough firewood to not freeze to death. Sometimes life can be rough, and it's, you know, it's the little things like not freezing to death that just make it just a little cooler. We seem to be in a zone that does not have trees. We have maybe a few trees that we could look at potentially to cut. I am at this point in time looking at trees. Now, this oasis tree is actually dead, so we are going to cut it down, and that is scary. And some of these little T-ball trees, we can actually cut these guys down and get just a tad bit of wood. So we're going to cut down some of the little baby ones, get a little bit more hay, and we're going to keep going. So we did discover the oasis tree before it died. So now we need to look at places. Ooh, look at that. Usually you don't find this many good places to put these trees. And the whole area over here is fantastic. All right. So we're going to get a giant area over here full of the oasis trees. Now, we're not going to have a lot of wood in this build, but one day when I'm cool, I'll have a big old area of wood that I can use. That will be great. So once we finally have enough wood, we will get this tailoring bench up. Currently have an insufficient storage space issue. So what we're going to do is go to the camp tool, click on the shelter, click on the sticks. We're going to slap this up behind. Now I would like to keep the wall. If I put it like this, I lose the wall. So we're going to have a one tile gap. And we're actually going to build 3 of these gents. We're going to come down into storage. We can do scrap shelving. It's probably wise. At 34, we're going to build ourselves out a nice little storage area. And now we have a little sneak corridor that people can, I don't know, they can sneak around in the back there if they feel like it. The heat wave is still very confusing because it's 64. Okay, now we're getting hot. Yeah, we're getting really hot now. Okay, we need to make some hats ASAP. Perfection. Now, I don't care too much about the comfort of these individuals while they're making the hats, but we probably should. We're going to have to cut down a few of these tea trees. T-ball trees. Why do they call them that? All right. Well, I think we can make a drink out of the T-balls, which may help with heat. So let's try that out. Look at that. We got ourselves a nice little shack. Oh, it looks terrible with the ceilings on. I'm going to take it off. It looks so much nicer when you can't see what it actually is. All right. We can make some slop. Now, I don't like these people that much, but I do need them to be happy enough to produce goods. So a spear we can make from wood and scrap. I'm going to have them do it one time. I would love one spear. We got a little bit of wood coming in now. Let's get that tailoring bench up. Now we're going to need a little bit of hay in order to make some of these straw hats. We're also going to need a little bit more of the sticks than we have. I think I have a good amount of sticks coming in from the area that we have up over here. Still says insufficient storage space, which tells me that it's not just the scrap storage shelving that we need to add, but stockpile. Now, this does become a problem, as you can see. It kind of works when you do this little half and half thing going on over there. But, yeah, we're going to be in a bad shape, so I'm going to do something different. We are going to... This is all good. Yeah, let's get ourselves another shelter. We're going to do sticks again, and we're going to use something similar to the other side. I have a feeling we're just making the most primitive society ever. But we do need some kind of storage while we move into the next stage of the game. And let's do that. Now we get some storage up. So we got good storage, and we can use this late game. We can keep all of our wood and things that don't perish from being in hot or cold temperatures, but just need to be stored properly. We have enough food for 2 more days. That's not necessarily good or bad. I'm going to have my boy Carter come over here and make this tailoring bench. And while Carter finishes this tailoring bench, we'll now pause. And so what we want to do here is go to sew hats, go to the straw hat. It's only 10 hay. It gives us a 42 Fahrenheit heat tolerance. Now, this won't be amazing whatsoever, but it's going to keep us from going into heat stroke. And really, well, now it's 23 degrees. You know what? It does look cool. So we're going away from survival to coolness. So we're just going to try to look as cool as possible. Laura is coming to construct shelter. Everybody's doing a great job. We do need to continue to research these plants. Eventually, bugs will come and eat all of the plant life around you, so it gets harder and harder to get some of these guys. I believe I'm going to send someone to scavenge over here. Now, the main thing I would really like to find right now are grain grasses or any kind of grain. It is the best thing in the world for food. Now, we have manure, and manure can be turned into fuel. So that's pretty sweet. Alright. I think I'm going to have Alice come over here and observe this grass. I can't remember if the tall grass is the grain. There's another special one that's really good for grain, but I can't seem to find it. And I just looked everywhere for it, so that is not good. Carter's going to go out. We have a good thing going on here. We can get some of these T-balls going. Come over here and take a gander at our campfire. We come over to the hot drink, and this gives a happiness effect of plus 15 and minor pain relief. Not bad. We should make some of that. We should do that till we have about 5 of it. Yeah, they should all be drinking anything that will make them happy, because there's not much. There's not much at all, which actually reminds me, we need to get ourselves a dartboard up now. So let's place a dartboard in between the beds. Nothing is more relaxing than having someone throwing darts next to your face while you're sleeping. Perfection. Alright. We got a good thing going on here. Got the ship right there. Everything is coming together. Got Carter over here. He's scavenging pretty well. What do we get? Man, we have not gotten lucky. Usually you get a gun. I don't know. So far, we've basically been getting scrap metal and old Limp Bizkit CDs or something. We're not getting much. Actually, I would take the Limp Bizkit CD over the scrap metal. I think it'd make them happier. All right, we have a dartboard. So, you know, the joy of throwing darts is now upon us. It is a golden age. A golden age is upon this place. All right, we got, yep. So the tall grass is something called grain grass. Now, you get about half as much as this cob grass that we can grow. But you know what? This is an amazing thing for us to have. So don't knock it, all right? We're going to grow as much of it as possible. We should have a good radius around all of these areas. You want to make sure that you don't get hit by lightning. Like I said, lightning bad. But we have a lot of good things going on. So what we need to do now is secure something, some kind of food. We were able to get quite a bit of bug meat, but it looks like we ate the majority of it. Now, the T-balls are considered a fruit, but I don't believe we can eat them. So that sucks. We do have scavenging over here. We definitely want to get these mushrooms observed. And we definitely want to get these silicone plants observed. Get some iron, start making electric parts. There's a lot of things that we should be doing that we're not able to do quite yet. And day is once again among us. It is cold as hell. So we're definitely going to want to get people inside here shortly. I'm going to thrust Talus upon this construction bench. We no longer need hats, so not enough resources. Eh? Okay. Well, we need to find a little bit more hay, and we have a little bit of the barrel cacti over here that we can harvest. That will get us just a little bit more food. We're about to have a lot of food here once we get a good harvest in, but that can, you know, take some time. Beginning stages of the game, you just gotta be a little smart. Now, I do get attacked by bugs often enough that I do feel pretty strong that we're gonna have a decent food supply. I also think that we'll probably have a decent cloth supply. So, get a little bit of cacti, get a little bit of other things. I think we're gonna be good here. You see, we got a lot of sticks, so we don't have to worry about fuel. Now, good enough is that the campfire is keeping us slightly warm over here. Alice is now researching construction basics, and then we will go into mining a lot of stone. We should probably actually start mining the stone And we're going to build ourselves just a little room that we can all sleep in to keep warm and keep cold in the summer months because it gets pretty darn hot. But we can always expand upon our first building. That's the beautiful thing. I think we're probably going to centralize the majority of our buildings. It's going to be a little unique and a little bit interesting to see what we can do here. This is kind of a terrible location for a base, but we're going to make it work. Very short. We don't have a whole lot of room to work with here. But it's alright. Alright, Laura and Yoko are planting. We got the long grass coming. We got a lot of good things going on for us. See here the barrel cacti they're growing. But we got a long way to go. So yeah, we're gonna need some more foods. I think we're gonna get attacked here pretty shortly. So we do have a lot of sticks. Now, one of the things about this game, you can get away with quite a lot. Just using stick fences to kind of herd the enemies around areas. You can see here we have a good little enclosure. Now, if I can get the fencing to go around this part here, that's good. What we want are no gaps at all. You see there are gaps right here. In order to get a clear defense, it needs to be completely connected on all sides. So this is a problem. Yeah, typically what happens is the enemy gets a little smart to this stuff and they start attacking corners and edges. So I found that the best way to get the stick fences to work, they have a clean area, completely clean. Like a little midnight gardening. Carter's out here doing the Lord's work. A little bit of action going on. Now he's gonna go scavenge. Guess he likes the night. Temperatures are kind of getting normal, so that's great. Can hold off on hat making for just a tad bit. Everything else seems to be going our way finally. Alright, veggie soup. Alright, we got 20 aggressive animals. So yes, we are going to get attacked by 20 or so animals. Thinking Laura, we're going to go back to Yoko and have her craft the spear. If I can get one of them in a spear, that's going to help us out. I think we're going to be able to take 20, no problem. We took a little bit more in the last raid. We definitely need to start getting our defenses up a lot better than what we have. I don't think we're going to get that spear up in time, but that's okay. Alright, here comes the attack. So we're going to do a similar thing that we did last time with Carter and Talus on the throws there. Yoko on the side. Laura on the back side. And let's see which way they're going to come from. Looks like they don't rightly know which way they want to come. Some of these bugs are looking... That's a huge bug. Okay. Well, that's not cool. We have 4 huge. We have 2 bloated. The bloated can explode. And I don't know if you've ever seen an exploding bug. But they're fat. They're fat little bugs. And you want to shoot them. So let's get these guys outside. If we see the exploders, we want to target them. I think this red one is definitely one of the big ones or the floaters. Oh no. Oh no. Oh shit. Okay, that's a big one. Yeah, that's a big guy. No, that's a bloated. Okay. So that's not good. We're gonna let them come in. Alright. We're gonna fight with the doors here. I definitely think I'm gonna have to get Laura over here to help out. We have multiple people. Okay, things are getting a little hairy here. Gonna try to get the one behind Yoko. Gonna use Laura to the best of my ability. Everybody's doing a great job. We're definitely gonna eat well tonight. Alright, I'm gonna pull Yoko in front of Talus. Laura back here. Gonna let them shoot out. See, the fencing is holding up really well. We're actually doing really decent. There we go. Alright, the bloater did not explode. These are not these are not the ones that blow up, so that's good. And so far we're only at a few sticks. I'm gonna move in on these bugs one at a time. We're gonna move in on this one bloater. Oh shit, no, get her back in. We're gonna hold formation. Try to get as many shots off as we can. There we go. Perfect. You can see they're doing a good job holding the line. Getting a little hairy in here. Yep, there he is. That was one of the ones that blew up, so that was not fun for us. Hopefully we didn't get chemical burns, because I don't think I have what it takes to... Okay, yeah, all superficial bites. Okay, yeah, we can heal all of this. We're going to need a lot more bandages. Or a lot more... Ugh. Yeah, that wasn't fun for anyone involved. Let's speed this up and let them get healed. Looks like we have a lot of cloth. I don't know how many bandages we have. 30-ish? So let's come over back to my bed. Go back to the bandages. Let's make sure we have 100 of these at any given time now. The spear up to next. Destroyed my my dartboard. We definitely want to get the food off the huge ones. Oh, we got dinner now. I was wondering what we were going to eat for dinner, and it's bugs. Some good bugs over here. Got the bloaters. Perfection. That is a lot of meat. A couple hundred meat right there. So we're going to be eating pretty for a bit. The bugs are the birds are coming out to eat the bugs, so we got to be careful. Them my bugs. You know, yeah, you know what you know your life's gone downhill when you're fighting off birds for bug meat. It's not a good thing. Nice. We got a little bit of fuel. That means we can get the burner up next. I think we move the rack. So we really do want to start focusing on getting the stick fence. This is also a great way to get your construction skills up in order to build like your first housing. So we're going to get up our first fence, and this is going to help us a lot. We want to make sure that our future house can be in this area. But we can use this to maneuver bugs in any way that we want. And then you just use little things like fencing to walk around. No big deal. So we'll get this little bit up first, and then we'll finish off the rest. But this will help out a lot. The bugs will have to go around the fencing, and we can shoot. Be really good. There we go. Yes. We're going to have, I think this is probably going to be the maze area. We got to be careful because we got these little indents over here that I can kind of see. And I tend to keep mine 4 tiles wide. That looks good. And we'll have an inner area here where we can place flamers and all types of stuff. Typically, you want to have a flame room, and that can just be like so. Probably fit 2 flamers right there. We'll do a fenced door on the back side so we can walk in. We'll do something similar over here, but we can do that later. I guess maybe we should actually do it now. While I have it up. There we go. Same concept. Want to have your stick door in. Okay. Yep, that should work. The flame should kill anything that comes through that area. And we can start putting up our defensive zones. You know what? Screw it. Let's go the distance here. Try to get as much room as we possibly can. I think having everything up to this point is perfect. That looks like I went in that way. That's fine. Pause real quick. We have an enormous amount of sticks, and we can get more if we need to. We might. But yeah, this is a really good early way to get up all your construction, so that when you want to go build your house, you have the majority of your skill points. So let's speed this up. Have them get everything out. We definitely want to put some back stick gates that we can get out in every direction. Make it easier on ourselves. Perfect. All right, we're making good progress. So we'll have our house centralized. You want to have your house centralized when you do this so that people aren't pulling on the bugs. I think we need to move this gent out of the way. Move it right here. A little scary. Someone's stuck. Carter's level 4 construction. There we go, Laura. You're free. And I think, honestly, what I want to do here, since we saw that issue, put a stick gate there. Because they need to get back there and repair, and I don't want them to get stuck at a future point. Speed this up. Alright, cool. Making food. Doing everything that we need to do. Perfect. Beautiful. It's always good to have multiple people with at least like level 2 to 4 construction so that they can repair key infrastructure after raids. We're doing a good job. Alright, look at that. Got some more melons that we can harvest. We're doing okay on food. I think things are going to start going our way. We have 127 sticks. I'm just going to cut down these guys right inside our own base. Looking sharp. Should have a nice defended area here pretty soon. We can always change some of this stuff up. I like this as the beginning of the maze. We'll probably have it go out this way. I found that some of the better mazes have a nice straight zone and then kind of sway. So, perfect. So this will be kind of how it works. Go. And then what you do to make it easy for you to get out is you just put a fence gate going down the whole thing, but the bugs will follow follow the maze. So that's pretty sweet. This is all eventually going to be destroyed and removed. Kind of cool is you can select, like double click to select all the traps, and then you can move them. And then if you hold shift, or if you just hold the left mouse button down, no, you don't even have to do that. Place and hold multiple items is shift. Yeah. Well, it's not working. Okay, whatever. But you see, we can move all those guys that we had. We're doing a weird job of it, but whatever. There we go. Now we can fight in the open fields. So one of the things that we want to do is come over to the research station. Actually gonna pull out of all of these gents and go straight into flamethrowers next. And then from flamethrowers we can... well, we do need to get electric grids up. And we need to get energy. I would actually like to get fuel fermentation and metal refinement. We'll just focus on those for now. But they got a lot of manual labor to do. Moving all the traps over is heavy lifting. We have 45 scrap. Not a lot. And we got a lot to do. We're going to speed this up and let them get to work. Cool. We got a good infrastructure, I think. Got a good amount of resources coming in at any given point. I think that bug is dead, but it's too late. Got quite a lot of food. Looks like we need a little bit more metal. I'm gonna have Laura come over here and construct that. Get the backside fence up. That's gonna be great. Every little thing we get up just makes us that much more likely to not die, and that's a good feeling. Perfect. Alright, fence doors are up. Perfection. Oh, I love it when you get that nice, clean feel. Dang it, we got toxic ash, right? Everything is so clean, toxic ash. It's like, alright. The game knew I was feeling good about myself, and it was like, nope. Time to throw you a curveball, sir. Alright, I feel you. I got you. I understand what your angle is now, game. For some reason, I got this gent outside, empty and deconstruct. We do not want our stuff outside. So silly of me. Yep, Laura's got it. Very decent of her. Harvest over here. Got a good thing going on. Let's harvest a little bit of the cloth blossoms. It's actually a lot of cloth blossoms, and you can never have enough. In the beginning of the game, you can never have enough bandages. We're gonna need some kind of antibiotic here soon too. If anybody gets sick, it is not gonna be pretty. So the desert, unfortunately, there are, I believe, the slimes that we can turn into something. So we need to get the succulent and we need to get the tall cacti all researched over here, and things are gonna be a little bit better for us. So we need some sap as well. There's just a lot that we need. Now, luckily, we're kind of outside here, so we got a little reprieve from the toxic ash we've been inhaling. So everything here is good. Got no issues. Yoko didn't get any permanent brain damage from the lightning strikes earlier, so... But, yeah, Carter does have mild dementia. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. But, you know, he's happy. And he's doing really well here. He's physically, he's very strong. So, just a little moderate pain from, you know, inhaling ash, but cotton coming in, and then I think we'll be in good shape. Right now I'm trying to get, yeah, Carter's out there. I'm trying to get a weapon. So that would be very advantageous to get a weapon. Right now we're sitting in the bow and arrow age and not doing us any good. So let's take a peek. Like the spear. We should probably do short bows. We got a lot to do. Nice. Level 5 physical and talus. Nice. Carter's at level 2 farming. Always good to have an extra farmer. I'm going to tell them to stop doing the scavenge over here. Because the toxic ash, really, really bad. I'm just going to keep everyone over here. And we'll figure something out. But we do need to get a gun. We do need to get a flamer up. I think Talus needs to finish off his research. We need to focus. What I may need to do is come to the management tab and actually tell them what I want them to do. This doesn't cut it. What you have to do is set the priorities. So let's pause. So Talus is going to be our #1 researcher. Carter will be #1 in construction. Laura, of course, is going to be #1 in planting and harvesting. And Yoko is going to be our main crafter of all types. Nobody is primarily a delivery person, so that's not always good. But we'll see how it all rolls out with the new priorities. Nice. A lot of stone. We're going to have a nice house here in no time. And welcome back to the 3rd chapter. We're going to be killing bugs. And then we're going to kill some more bugs. And then after that, I don't know. Space drugs? Carter? Alright, so we need to get our base going. We need flamethrowers. We need an actual building. We've been gathering stone for this very reason. Currently, we've got traps, bow and arrows, and this belief that Jesus is going to save all of us, and it's not going to happen. I need to get these guys actual weapons, so that's what we're going to be focused on in this chapter. Alright, we have a great deal of storage here, so this has been a wonderful thing for us, but we're going to start navigating in a different direction, I believe. We currently have 4 days of food, so we need to be really smart. We're very close to Talus getting construction basics. We also need to maintain the observation rate of all of these plants out here because eventually bugs will come and start eating things and it gets hairy. And I'm having to control a lot of what people are doing. So I'm going to take Yoko off of what she was doing. I'm actually even going to take Carter. I think we just need to throw everyone out here and get as much researched as fast as possible. That will help us out tremendously. So we're going to speed this up just a tad bit. I'm going to slow down just a little bit, you know, but at the same time, there's a lot to do. So Laura is talking to Talus about weightlifting. That must be a riveting conversation. I agree, Laura. Weightlifting is cool. All right, we got construction basics. So we have this whole area that we've been relying on for a lot of the things that we have. I do like that the T-ball trees provide happiness. So I think that continuing to make that tea is to our advantage. So we're going to come down to food crops. We've got green grass, feral cactus. Non-edibles, we have cloth blossom and our tree ball. Trees right here. So this isn't terribly great, but it's better than nothing. And then for our first room, we're going to have to look at this in a couple of ways. We need a room that I can put an air conditioning in for the hot, severe months, where everyone can sleep in that room. This becomes really, really important. Another problem we're going to face, though, is that we need a lot of storage, and we just need a lot in general. So what I think we're going to do is make a very basic building. So this is going to be the entry point. I think the building should start here. So shelving here, gap in between, storage, gap, shelving. This tends to do pretty well, and we can build off of this. So our first room is going to be probably pretty darn wide. So we'll start here, and we'll build off of this. And we'll probably have to build up because our space is very limited. I'm going to start with just the foundation and let them get to work. Alice is now researching flamethrowers. We're also going to need fuel fermentation, an electric grid, Wooden fortifications for sure. Synthetic armor might be smart. I would have preferred to have gone with carbon armor, getting carbon nanotubes from the insect nest, but we actually may be able to get more synthetics. And what's cool about this is because we have the breakthrough to make synthetics from bug meat, we're killing lots of bugs, these armors have good heat and cold resistance, so I can make these armors instead of making shirts and pants and, you know, make everybody stronger. Pickling, I think, is going to be really, really important. We can do chemical cloth synthesis, but, you know, we're not... Here's 30 to 10, so it's 3 to 1. So that's 5 to 2. And then a 1 to 1 ratio. Yeah, that's, so 50... Yeah. It's actually, interestingly enough, it's actually a little bit better, but I don't think I'm going to do it either way, because it's just multiple process. Alright, Laura is going to transport the stone. Alice is getting down to work. Yoko almost has the tall cactus. Now, one of these we can actually make antibiotics from the slime. I have to remember which one of these guys gives me slime. So you want to, you actually want to look at everything. You want to get every plant you can. There's another guy over here. These are succulents. These are juice leaves. So we'll want to get a gent out there. I think I'm going to take Talus out here to observe the succulent plant. And I'm going to let everyone do their thing. Carter's over here. Almost got the sap. These are sugars. They're used in more advanced things that we can't really do right now. We definitely want to continue to get scrap. There we go. So we can get sweet syrup, use that in some advanced stuff there. But we got a lot going on. Carter should be getting to construction now. So this will be very sweet. So let's watch him work and sit back. Alright, we got juice leaf. Now juice leaf is actually kind of dangerous because it's a drug. Distilling it, though, we can make syrup out of it. We can also make healing balms out of the juice leaf. So that's a huge very advantageous. These healing bombs help with burns, and typically you can only heal some of those things that way. So it's pretty important to get those things going. It looks like we have a little bit of food that we can get right there. Some cactus right there. Alright, we've got the branched cactus up next. So we're getting really close. We just need to continue to get all of these things. Again, I'm going to just send people out here to do this now, because it becomes a little bit difficult to have the time to get out here and do these kind of observations. I think I'm even going to stop on the construction of the base just momentarily. I really just want to get everything that we can research done with. It's going to help us out tremendously. I'll let Laura continue to bring in food and drugs and what other kind of paraphernalia that we need for this society to function. And we'll do the best we can. Now, they destroyed my dartboard, and we need metal alloys. I'm just going to remove that because we don't have too many metal alloys. That's unfortunate. It does look like we have some leather. We do have hay and wood, and we just have bow and arrow. So I'm going to place this outside. We got to have something that can make people a little bit happy. These are a miserable bunch of people. So, yeah, the distasteful flowers. So we're going to grow a little bit of everything, not because we need to, but just because I like to keep good assortment of goods. You never know when you're going to change your mind on something. So it's always good just to grow a little bit of everything. So distasteful flowers right here and the tall cactus. Got 27 aggressive animals coming at us. Of those 27, 9 are huge. This is not going to be pretty. We're going to use a little bit of our scrap right now. I'm actually going to pull people back. We need to get ready for war, so I'm pulling everyone back. They need to get rested. So we're going to be able to do a little bit of the things that we wanted to do. We're going to have to modify this to make the ability for them to traverse harder. So I'm going to get Carter over here to construct this fence. I was hoping to get the flamethrowers up. A lot of this will be changed, so we're just going to narrow the gap for now. Beautiful. This is going to be great. Wonderful. All right. Everybody's getting to work, getting fed, they're getting ready for war. Laura's getting our next crops up. All right, here come the bugs. Let's get everybody over here. I do kind of want to look at what we can craft now. So healing bomb from juice leaf. We're getting close to being able to do a lot of good stuff over there. Let's get everyone into position though. We're not get those guys up fast enough. Undrive. Let's see if I can get these traps up in time. Alice there. Yoko and Laura. And what's cool is if we start getting overwhelmed, we have these traps right here to help us out. If the enemies start coming around us, then we have those traps to help us out. So Carter, oh god, Carter, you are a jerk. Okay, Carter's just gonna have to get to it. So here they come. Oh, this is gonna be interesting for sure. I'm gonna pull Laura back. All right, now you want to hit them when they're stuck like this as much as you can, but unfortunately, this is gonna get ugly. I'm gonna pull them back a couple. We'll just hit everybody in between. Oh, this is nasty. This is a nasty fight. Luckily, we're strong. But yeah, we're gonna have to fight by hand now. Talus is luckily really strong. We've knocked out a good portion of everybody over here. Now, a little funny trick that we can actually do is run away. And they will have to go all the way around and we can shoot them with our bows. So I'm gonna have Talus go over there. So there we go. That will give us a couple shots. And you can kind of dart back and forth between these two areas. Over and over. So yeah, we're going to kill one at a time. And then we can dart. Let's try to get at least a couple kills so we're not doing this all night long. Go. Kill this gent. This is a really easy way though to kind of mess with all the bugs. And then when you see them getting close, you just run back inside. The bugs are pretty stupid in this game. It gets a lot harder than this when they can shoot back though, I'll tell you that much. Move, move. I need to get all of them with bows. Kill this. You can also just, you know, have them each on a side. Okay, let's start killing one at a time. Getting impatient. I know we're getting a little screwed up from it, but let's get this fight over with. We got a lot of food here. Kill the little one first. And get the big guy. There we go. Alright. So, a lot of food. This is going to be great for all of us. Let's let them get healed up real quick. And we'll get out here and start making food. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let's go to the Manage tab. Let's go to our activities. Let's make sure everybody is set to 1 on heal. Alright. We have a 1 on heal for everybody involved. That's great. Some of these guys are awaiting treatment. That's not good. Laura, I'm going to have heal Carter. And we'll get this show on the road. That's why you want to have a bunch of bandages. Now, hopefully, the most dangerous thing is that we get an infection. So far, so good. He's got superficial bites. Dust storm is coming in. They did destroy it quite a bit. I'm going to have him go out and get food for us. I want the meat. Gonna let Yoko and everyone else heal. Alright, we're in good shape. Carter did get sick. He has a mild infection. He should be fine. I'm just gonna have to tell him to walk it off for now because we don't have anything. If the infection gets serious and he dies, then whoops. But I think he'll be fine. And if he's not, he's not. That's why we need to get into the antibiotics as soon as possible. Alright, we're in good shape though. Laura, on the other hand, has a lot of flesh that is bitten off. Yoko is helping Laura to the best of her ability. These treatments don't require medicine. Alright, we should be in good shape. Everybody's healed up. Alice is once again crying. He is the fighter. He's supposed to be the main dude. And he's been nothing but a disappointment. He's my favorite character, but he's really letting the team down. Alright. Yeah, we still got bandages to make. We're in good shape. Yeah, we should have 100. We have 75 in stock, but that's why you want to keep a good assortment of those. And let's continue to get bug meat. I think we're going to skip the little guys now because they're already pretty crap. So we'll get the big dudes. We'll get our traps back up. And we'll get back to business. We're getting close, though. Alice is going to get the flamethrower up any day now. I think we also need to go back to scavenging. We definitely... Hypothermia for Carter. That's not good. Yeah, Carter is having what I would describe as a very bad day. He was able to get rid of the infection just naturally, so that's great. I think we're moving along. Alright, we got flamethrowers. So what do we need for this bad boy? 20 metal alloys. So that means that the next thing that we need to research is for sure metal refinement. And then fuel fermentation. We need a lot of research in synthetics. We got a lot on our plate. We got plenty of food. There's really no point into getting any more of these bugs. Simply because the meat's just going to rot that we have. Alright, Yoko just hit level 6 in crafting. Alice just got us electric grids. So that's really cool. That unlocks quite a bit. You can see we're getting real close to having some good stuff. I think it's time to get a real cook station up. I'm going to place it inside of our protected zone over here. Got a little bit of fuel. We definitely need to get a little bit more iron. There's a lot to do here. Let's see, now that we have that up, we can start looking at things like refrigeration, electric, hydroponic racks. Those are amazing. We definitely want to get into hydroponics at some point. And we can go down the line and just get everything that we need. Diesel generator, so we need to find an electronic, so we really need to start scavenging as much as possible. We need to find an electronic device that we can get our grids up. This is going to be difficult. We need lots of iron. There's quite a bit to do. We don't have a whole lot of resources, but I think we're going to be just fine. Alright, Laura's out there getting them traps ready. We're in good shape. Alright, look at that. Laura and Carter getting to work out there. Severe heat wave, not good. I'm gonna have Yoko come over here and start prioritizing these straw hats. And we also need to make sure that we have enough hay. So let's go back out and look what we can do. A little bit of hay over here. We're gonna cut these blade grasses down. Ooh, it's gonna get toasty. I'm afraid for our people right now. But we'll do the best that we can. Nice. I think Carter needs a hat more than anybody. I don't know why I feel that way. Heat tolerance is really low on all of this stuff. I'm going to have Carter take off all of his clothing. And I'm actually going to have everybody take off clothing that gives a negative heat tolerance. You see how it's red? It's telling you that it doesn't have heat tolerance. So Alice is good. He's got green heat tolerance. He's got an increase. Yoko has an increase and a decrease on the pants. So gotta take off the pants. For some reason, the space ship jacket gives us heat tolerance increase. I'm gonna allow it. We gotta make sure their shoes also are helping them out here. Cold tolerance. Cold tolerance. Okay. So I'll have them take off all their clothes and get some nice hats. It's gonna be a cool time that we have. 101 degrees outside. We're also gonna want to move the cooking station not next to where we're sleeping. We got to keep this as cool as possible. It's 129 degrees near it. All right, Carter is definitely a man. There is a substantial risk of heat stroke right now. Get the hat on. Pretty much everything that you can do to increase heat tolerance is going to help. So 115 degrees. And I have no shelter up, so I'm doing a great job. All right, let's see what at least Carter looks fashionable. If he does die, he's gonna die in style. Yeah, there we go. All right, cool. So we got a cook stove station. We don't sleep in here, so this is great. So, you know, the T-ball thing, 5 of those, that will keep everyone from, you know, dying. Or not dying, sorry. It'll make them happy. So if they die, they'll be happy that they're dead. I don't know. Quick recipes, meat and veggie soup. We're going to just do 5 at a time. Tasty recipes. We can actually do a meat pie. I mean, we might as well. Anything that can make these individuals happy. So we got a proper setup there. Never hurts to have some of this stuff, to be quite honest. But yeah, we no longer need this. So we're just going to deconstruct it. Nice. We got ourselves a second hat. This second hat, I think, is going to go to Yoko since she's outside making the hats, and that's going to hurt. So there we go. Got crazy cool hats now. It's a little cooler at night. I'm a tad worried. I'm actually very worried about everybody. We need to get better food variety. Yoko is crafting. We need to get probably at least a couple more bows. I'm going to have her make bows instead of bandages for just a tad bit. And yeah, I think we're gonna skip the spear for now. Carter's getting his groove on, shooting the target. We have, usually when I do a seed, I like to have as many shipwrecks as possible. Because without it, like I said, we don't have access to the electronics and things like that. So it makes it really, really difficult to advance. So we gotta come out here, do this. I'm actually gonna take Talus off of being an intelligent person, doing nice research. I'm gonna have him go bang on some metal out there. Carter, I'm probably gonna do the exact same thing too. There's a nice thing to bang on over here. Go get me some stuff, man. Perfect. I would build out the building right now, but there's really no point because we're already in a heat wave, and looks like the heat wave is pretty bad. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll keep them indoors during the day. But what happens is it actually gets hotter inside the houses sometimes unless you have proper ventilation. So we're just going to have to tough it and use pretty much everything around us to make sure that they don't get too hot. Like I said, take off clothing. I told you to take this off. Oh, you disobeyed. Same with you, Carter. Well, Carter's a little too far away. All right, cool. We got some fuel. Yeah, we need to make sure that they're taking off all the bad stuff. All right. Take off the trousers. There we go. And we can have them put their clothes back on later. I just had him remove his shirt. All right, Carter is now accidentally had him drop that. I'm gonna have Laura go out and get the fuel. All right, we're making good progress. Still have not found any electronics though. All right, we're doing really well. All things considering, and yeah, we'll get some barrels up here, make some more fuel. And yeah, that's all she wrote there. Talus, I'm gonna have you go back out and bang. Carter's transporting, that's great. Getting some good resources. 116, so that's scary. Get Laura a straw hat. There we go. Everybody's got fancy hats now. Beautiful. Anything we can do to lower their core temperature. So heat tolerance is below 113 right there. Carter is, Carter. All right, let's pause the game. Carter, for some reason, likes to suffer. Take off your stuff. I might have to restrict it. It looks like he's putting it all, yeah, they're all trying to put it back on. So they're still not that smart in the game. And as you can see, that raises everything. So what I used to do is destroy the clothing, but this is why you want items that have heat and cold tolerance increases. It just makes your life a whole lot easier. But there we go, heat tolerance 114. They seem to be doing okay. You know, Carter's making them breakfast or some crap. Nice, we got 2 more short bows, so both Laura and Yoko. Now everyone has knives, everyone has bows. We're going to be a little bit sharper now. But we still have very primitive weapons for the setup. That's what happens when you play vanilla. And also what happens when you get really bad rolls. But we're going to need to go to the next tier of being able to salvage things because we have so few, so we need spaceship deconstruction. Brick room, concrete room. Brick would probably be really smart because we can turn hay into bricks. But we have a lot of rock around us. Ore prospecting is definitely something we're going to need to do. Between that and the silicone, we're gonna need a lot of stuff. So I am actually a little afraid that we're not getting some things like the silicone fully observed. If the bugs come and eat that, then we have no ability to make silicone. Carter is freaking out, as always. He's burnt out. But he's got, I mean, he's pretty stylish. Alright, I'm going to say keep one bow in stock since we have a bunch now. Put the bandages back at top. Nice. We got what we need. Oh, the flamethrower. Alright, well, we're gonna start working on the flamethrower, and I think we're gonna put one flamethrower right here. We need 5 more. Alright, looks like we got everything we're gonna get out of that spot. So we just need to look a little bit closer. Sometimes other wrecks will fall from the sky, so you do have that advantage. But you can see that this place is pretty open. And yeah, we got more over here. Luckily, the raptors won't attack you unless you attack them. But yeah, we need to keep scavenging and we need to keep going. I think we're gonna finally start working on a bit more of the wall here. So let's get the basics up. We're gonna have ourselves, this is gonna be the primary storage facility, and the back is gonna be a place for everybody to sleep. So what we're gonna want are a stone stairway. So this is gonna be a walkway, and this is gonna be a walkway. And through the house, we can go into doors. We don't have a whole lot of wood. We have just a tad bit of scrap. So we're probably gonna go with scrap doors here. And then in the back, we're just gonna make this big enough to house everybody. And we're gonna do some stone here. So bed, bed, bed. This is looking sharp just as is. Yeah, not bad. So we'll go with the housing. Get ourselves a scrap door. We're gonna have an AC unit in here at some point. And we'll wait on moving beds for just a tad bit. And for now, we're just gonna put on a normal ceiling because this building is gonna go very tall. There we go. There we go. So they got their work cut out for them now. I get all these things going here. Might want to have a back door at some point. I think right for now we're going to be okay. I mean, it's not a terrible idea. We don't have a whole lot of scrap, so I'm trying to not do too many doors, but we have 732 stone, which I believe is enough for everything that we're trying to do. We're going to get this place up and going in no time. We got a nice little area over here for advanced storage and workstations if we want, but I would like to bring everything inside. Make it nice and cool for everyone involved. Alright. Do we have any more hats? This is the last hat being made, so I'll give that to Talus. Alright. Everybody's got a fashionable straw hat now. We got tea. Should increase our happiness, keep them from having breakdowns. It's really important to, you know, make sure they're not freaking out all the time. Alright, we got the silicone leaf. We got a fermentation barrel. Oh well. So we're gonna place a couple. Oof, we need wood. Oof, we need oh my god. We need so much if we want to get going, right? So silicone, okay. We got some good areas over here. We're gonna need quite a bit of this. So I am going to do the best I can just to get a little bit started. Looks like we still need to observe the twisted plant. We have a big thing of cotton about to come in, which is actually very substantial. I think gonna reduce the field over here to about this much. We don't I'm so used to playing with like 8 or 10 or 20 guys that I just realized I don't need that much bandages because I only have 4 people. Like I said, I didn't need as much cotton as I was preparing. So we got a good thing going here. It looks like we're actually running low on sticks, and that's not good. So we'll cut some more sticks. We need it for fuel for everything that we're doing. We need a lot of sticks at any given time. Some harvesting going on over there, and we're getting really close to getting a lot of this stuff up. So we just need to continue to scavenge these drop sites around us and hope that we get an electronic part. We may be able to get a balloon at some point. But we need to get some wood And we need to get a barrel up so that we can make more fuel. That's actually going to be pretty critical for us surviving. So we planted some trees not too long ago. I think Carter's got hypothermia. I think I'm going to have Talus come out here and cut this tree down so we can get that barrel up. And let me see. So yeah, our side over here with the trees is not really growing too quickly. So I think we're going to want to get multiple sites. So in the future we have more wood. So let's do some pre-planning here to get as much of this as possible. Alright, yeah, we're only going to be able to grow so many trees up there, but that's fine. And Carter's going to finish off building our main hall. Alright, we got 56 aggressive animals coming at us. So without a flamethrower, this is going to be a little tricky. We need 5 more metal. And where is everything? Okay. Let's pause real quick. I'm going to turn off outside scavenging just for the time because I don't want them wandering away. Alice, haul this wood. I think we're going to have to fight this by hand. There's a lot of them. Overgrown. 56 of the small fries. We can easily take this many. It's going to be... We got 4 people with bow and arrow now. So that's a huge advantage. Finally, the heat wave is over. Alice is researching synthetics. Got a couple hats. Got a lot of syrup. So we can kind of look at the things that we can do with syrup. So I think we could turn syrup into oils at some point. Let me actually check that one out. There might be something cool we can do with syrups. But yeah, I think we're going to have to fight the old-fashioned way. Alright, here they come. 50 of them. It's the cool thing about traps is they all kind of reset. So I think what we're going to do is try to spread everybody out. So I'm going to let them come in just a little bit at a time, and we'll shoot as many as we can. 100 bug meat about to rot away. Alright, so here they come. Our bows luckily have a good line of sight. So let's see how many we can. Ooh, Yoko's happy about observing death. I always forget that she's a bit sick in the head. There we go. There's 50 of them though, that's the problem. But we can skirt a lot of these gents. And we will. Once it starts getting hairy, we're just going to boot out. Alright, it's getting hairy. So we're going to boot out over here. Yoko is kind of struggling there. Wait, alright. Pop out over here. There we go. We only need to kill a few of them. Alright, they're going hog wild right now. You can see we're getting enough of a pop shot kind of going here that it's kind of worth it. Let's kill a few. You don't need to run back and forth all the time. It's just really awesome. All right, now we're starting to get hit a little bit. Now we get out. Here we go. I'm gonna let them just kind of fight the way they feel they need to fight here. You guys are all pretty weak. All right, let's get out of here. Go. So yep, pretty easy strategy until we get our front flamethrower up, or until they send in the birds, in which case we all die. It's been a while since I played Crash, to be honest. It's been a little bit since I played this game in its vanilla state. And when you don't start off with a bunch of resources like robots and electronics, gameplay is a little bit different because you're trying to get to that point and it's kind of difficult. There we go. That's right, I forgot I can cut them through the fence, too. Do that. Let's hug the fence to limit the amount of size that they can come. Alright, this is beautiful right here. Yeah, it's a little too dark. There we go. Alright, we did it. We're victorious. There's a good amount of meat to be had here. I'm going to have Talus get to it. We don't want to run out of bug meat. Oh. Gotta have our beautiful bug meat. When I get this barrel up, I'm gonna start making some freaking flamer fuel. Nope, Carter's gonna just have a freak out. That's cool too, Carter. You can freak out all you want. Well, let's have one of these guys heal the other. That will help us out there. Alice is... Oh my god. This is one trip. One giant trip we're all having. Alright. Yoko's getting her healing up. That's great. The birds have come out for the insects. Well, we're almost at a point where we have the house up. We got a lot of cloth and some other things that we can harvest here. We survived this attack, but it is pretty obvious to me that if we do not get out and get a little bit of the things we need to get our iron production going, we're going to be in bad shape. Today's going to be a big day, everybody. Number 1, we're diving into the ridiculous world of balloons. And number 2, flamethrowers. Turning everything in sight into delicious steaming corpses. Let's get into it. These bugs are going to get pretty darn serious. I'm a little afraid of the flyers, so we got to keep going. Right now, we got a few people just healing from the last attack. We're going to be in good shape here momentarily. Almost have the first area up. Looks like we might need just a tad bit more stone to complete it, although the purple indicates that the material's already in there. So we should be good, but we definitely want to continue trekking along in that regard. Got ourselves a nice little area for everybody to sleep. Going to start moving things along. We're going to keep this outside storage area just for the materials that don't perish when underneath roof. So things like this need to come inside. So even though technically it's under a roof, I prefer it. I don't know, maybe we don't. But some of this stuff is indefinite, so it's pretty sweet. But yeah, all the food should be brought in. Things like hay and all those. I mean, that's not bad. 2 years for sweet syrup. That's not bad at all. Looks like we can also keep everything there. So technically all this is under roof. Everything in the middle here is on doors. So it's actually kind of funny. Like, we have better insulation in here, but that's actually pretty amusing to me. All right, let's get these bugs all cut up. Let's get everything repaired. Let's get this show on the road. So right now, Talus is primarily focused on getting synthetic armors, and we're going to skip wooden fortifications. We're going to go straight into ore prospecting. We already got the furnace, so that's great. We can start breaking down some of this scrap into making metal alloys so we can get the big time stuff going here. We should have this barrel up so we can turn some of this meat into fuel. But if we can focus on just getting a little bit of this action going on here, I think we're going to be in good shape. I also think that we're going to want to research being able to salvage the ships fully down, so spaceship deconstruction. And we need an electronic component. So we need to focus on breaking down ships, basically, and trying to get lucky and get a drop. If we can do that, then we're going to be in really good shape. If we can't do that, it's going to be really difficult for us to scale up. But you know what? We're going to do it. I'm going to turn salvage off on that. I don't want them to go too far away from base, but so I'm going to wake Carter up and have him go bang on some metal out here. I'm sorry, Carter. Duty calls. And then let's take a peek over here. We got another gent over here, Talus. I'm going to leave Talus doing what he's doing. And then Yoko, I'm going to have come over here. Nope, we already did that full one. So we got a gent over here that Yoko can start working on right here. Salvage. I don't like that they have to go too far away from base. We have a little bit of bug meat already rotting. And I think what I'm going to do is take Talus. I know he wants to sleep, but we need to get this barrel up. And I need to get the fuel fermentation going on it. All right, let's pause this. Let's go to fermentation, liquid fuel. And we're going to do this until we have around like 400. And I'm going to tell him to ferment some of this bug meat that's about to rot anyway. There we go. Cool. Got some of that rotten bug meat. Not bad. Now, some of these bugs are already decomposing, so there's really no point. It does appear that everybody's doing the best they can. Get a little bit of meat. I'm going to have Talus just come over here and butcher a couple of these. Yeah, they kind of evaporate pretty quick. It's like 3 meat per. It's almost not worth it. So, yeah, we got ourselves a heat wave. Talus is hungry and sleeping. We got bug meat, man. Delicious bug meat. Nice. We got what we needed to finish one of the flamethrowers. Very good. So I'll have that gent come back. I really need an electronic. We have 4 people at risk of meltdown. I've been overworking them and not letting them sleep or relax or do anything fun. So that's awesome. We're going to start... That's actually pretty funny. We're going to start moving gents over here. So I'm going to have all of my crafting stations kind of in this area. I think it's probably best just to start moving everything now. So I don't like to keep people too close to the doorways, but you know what? When in Rome. I don't know if Romans put their crafting buildings next to doorways, but that's what we're doing. All right. Get all those gents moved over. Keep this area for outside storage of materials. Maybe even delete this gent right here because it's just a little too close to the edge. But this will be great. And we can start getting storage. Now, what I like to do is put racks on the sides, and in the middle, I like to do stockpiles. I want one more bench here, and I want one more bench here and here. So we're going to do the stacks like that. Would be perfect. We'll do our stacks like that. And then, yeah, we'll have Daisy. Get rid of just this one. There we go. Perfect. Some nice storage. All right. So I'm going to have Carter come over here and finish off the flamethrower. Beautiful job, Carter. And I think we're going to deconstruct this. And deconstruct this. Want them to run through the flames. All right, cool. This gives us an edge. This gives us a big edge. All right, Talus is losing his mind, but that's okay. He's got a cool hat. That's all that matters. All right, there's too much risk of meltdown right now, so I gotta let them all kind of catch up with each other. All right, look at that. Synthetic armor has been researched. All right, we're gonna leave the cook stove outside for the time being. Brought everything inside. Got the ore prospecting. So a couple things that we want to do now is for sure get the furnace up. So the furnace can go wherever it wants to go. I'm gonna put it over here for now. Get one of these up. We don't really have a whole lot of metal or anything, so that kind of sucks. And let's see. Yeah, he's getting ore prospecting. That's going to help us out tremendously. We need to get the iron going as fast as possible. Carter is building everything up. Yoko is sleeping. Meteor rain. Perfect. So the meteor rains are great because that's what we're doing ore prospecting for. Ooh, look at that. Oh, the grain. All right. Our food troubles are beyond over now. We'll see where these meteors hit. Try to get a nice bird's eye view of everything. Yep, rock chunks. Gotta love rock chunks. Alright, well, we'll find some of that stuff later. Like we still have a branch cactus over here. This is where we're gonna get... Oof. I'm gonna pause real quick. I'm gonna send Carter out here. I believe this slime can be used to make antibiotics, and we really need to start stockpiling some antibiotics. It'd be really silly to see some people die here because we didn't have basic things like that. Get this stuff going. Alright. Yeah, we're doing great. Need to make sure we have plenty of storage. Yeah, this stuff's all good. I'm actually almost really tempted to move this stuff, but I can't. That sucks. Yeah, we're gonna need some more scrap and some other things. That's fine. Nice, we got the branch cactus. So now we can grow a bit of this. We're just gonna grow enough to get ourselves going on that front. And then juice leaf. Yep. Might as well get a little bit of juice leaf going. And then, yes, distillation. We can start getting people a little drunk. There we go. Tall. There we go. Let's get some of the slime. Oh, yeah. He's fiending. He is fiending. Carter has a huge alcohol problem, as I told you guys about in the beginning of the episode. He's like, we can make hooch now. Like, I need it. I know. Carter's got issues, man. We're gonna get you help, but not right now, Carter. We gotta keep you productive, so I gotta give in to your problems. So we can create synthetic vests, which require metal alloys, unfortunately. I'm trying to think of anything that I can do that doesn't require a lot of metal, but pretty much everything does. So heat tolerance on hats is a little bit more favorable. But you can see the straw hat has the best heat tolerance. Baseball caps, though, are cool because they also have cold tolerance. And we got plenty, and will have plenty of fabric. So something to think about. But we're going to let Carter get to work. He's doing a great job. Almost got the whole dang thing done. And once we get this all done, then it will be completely... Yeah, it's a little cool inside. It's kind of weird, actually. Usually it's hotter inside because the temperatures don't go out too much. Alright, we're losing food, but you know what? We're going to have a lot of grain. Yeah, there we go. All this stuff is going to start rotting. I'm going to have an emergency meeting of hauling right now. We need to haul this grain immediately. There's too much. Oh, shit. Alright, we do not want to engage these pests. Oh, man, they are going to kill everything that I have. Alright, we need to get this in. I should probably start putting fencing around this area. I don't know if we can even kill 31. This is going to be tough. This isn't good. This is not good. I didn't get to research everything, and they're hungry, hungry hippos, man. They will devour everything. So we need to get as much food in as possible. This could be devastating to our survival chances. Pretty bad. Here we go. Get everybody to haul as much as possible. All right, cool. Transporting 3 and 200. That will get us pretty far. I'm worried that if I engage, it's not going to go the way that I want it to. It looks like my raptor friend is helping me out. Good to have raptor friends killing the bugs for us. We don't want to get involved. We're just going to let them kind of do their thing. And Laura, I need to get her out here and start harvesting immediately. We want as much of this as possible. You can turn grain into a lot of things. Antibiotics, freaking fuel. Just a lot of stuff. So we definitely need to haul the metal alloys inside. Make sure we're doing everything that we need to do. Let's go over here and look at quick recipes. All right, we got everything kind of dialed in. Let's look at hot drinks. Still just the tea. All right, yeah, we got our work cut out for us. So there's 25. All right, I think we can take them. I think we can take them. If not, our flamethrower will do the Lord's work here. So let's speed this up. Every time I engage a new enemy. Oh shit, we're gonna have to kill our friend. But you know what? He's got some tasty meat on him. Yeah, these bow and arrows are actually pretty darn good in the early stages of the game. Let's get these guys a little closer. And speed this up. Just start taking them out. Not bad. Yeah, we're doing a good job. Getting some XP too. That's the most important thing. Yeah, getting them combat XP, getting a little bit better with them bows. Guess this actually turned out to be good. And we have a flamer over here that will take care of that bug. Early game is actually kind of relaxing. It gets pretty crazy towards the end. So yeah, we're doing great. Where are them hungry pests? All right, they're eating my foods. Get out here, kill a couple more of them. Yeah, they're kind of all over the place. All right. I think we've killed enough of them. 4 isn't really going to do too much of a dent. I'm going to let everyone just get back to their normal jobs. And let's see, how long will this grain last us? Let's look at it real quick. Outside, under a roof, 1 year. Refrigerated 2, frozen indefinite. So yeah, we want to get up some cool storage. I think we're going to bring... I actually kind of changed my mind. I think what I'm going to do is bring some of this stuff inside. So I think over here is a perfect place for a table. And then we can move the chairs right in here. Keep everything nice. I think we can probably just keep some of this stuff where it is, but we're doing a good job overall. Do we need sticks? What's going on here? Yeah, we do actually need a little bit of sticks. There's a lot of jobs. I kind of need to let them catch up, but I keep interrupting their sleep and they keep getting cranky, so we'll see what happens. I'm going to have Carter construct these stockpiles so we have more room for grain. I want all the grain stored inside. And we got plenty of room over here too, so yeah, we're in good shape. Got lots of bandages. Got lots of rotten meat. Not good. Oh, there's 4 of them now. Yeah, they're kind of just chilling, so we're in a good position. Yeah, got a lot of sticks now. That's great. Got this one crappy tree. We're a little hungry, but I think we're in good shape now. I probably need to come down. Let's see what we got in production. Distillery. Metal alloys. Yeah, we turn grain into alcohol or sweet syrup. That's kind of cool. Carter's losing his mind. He's always losing his mind, though. Flamethrower, second flamethrower would be ideal. But we're just going to allow things to kind of play out. Alright, it's cold as heck. Nice, look at that. We just got the furnace up. So, I think right now we're going to hold off on converting scrap into metal alloys because we don't have enough. I'm going to take all this away. We want to get the ore prospecting done. So we're going to let Talus finish. He's almost there. And then once we can start getting ore into here, we can start really pumping out metal alloys, get our second flamer. We got bug. I mean, we got fuel for. We're always going to have fuel. That isn't going to be an issue. We really need to start getting additional scrap and things like that too. But I need to let them kind of catch up and replant and do everything that they need to do. We have a lot of grain out here. I don't even know if we can eat all this, but we're going to try. And we did get the slime, I believe. Or I don't think we've harvested the plants for it yet. So let's come over here to the crafting station and let's see. Antibiotics from cactus slime. Yep. So, and healing balm from juice leaves. Perfect. All right. So we've got multiple avenues now. And I'm going to send Carter to start harvesting that slime so we can start making antibiotics immediately. There we go. Yoko's planting. I don't know. Laura's... Okay, Laura's helping out too. Perfect. Nice. We just got ore prospecting. So what we do is we just highlight everything and we look for the ore. So here are my weird rocks. Rock chunks. This is shiny. This is silicone though. Shiny rock. Okay, we got our work cut out for us. We still need to get that stuff. Well, what do you know? Alright, well silicone's good. Yeah, we need to salvage too. Oof. It's going to be a while. We might actually need to start getting into... We might just need to go straight into expeditions. Since we do have the capacity to make fuel. I think honestly the best way for us to get some of these resources is just going to be send people out in balloons. It's balloon time! Alright, spaceship deconstruction. And then long distance travel. So, hot air balloon is pretty cheap. We can definitely build it and we definitely have everything we need. Grain for antibiotics, that's going to be next. Oil extraction, we can turn oil, but we have a grain, so we don't need that. Pickling would be wise, especially as we start mass producing. I think one of the biggest issues we have... Ooh, coffee. One of the biggest issues we have, though, is just flare shielding as well. I mean, we could make a diesel generator and start doing some other stuff. Okay, we'll let them get that far. This is actually kind of... We're going to have to start sending people out. We can make fuel all day, though. From the bug attacks. So we should be able to start going out and getting some scrap metal. That will be good for us. But people are sad right now, so I'm just going to let them kind of catch up with themselves. There's just a lot to do. Here we go. Interesting rock. This is what we want. I'm going to have Talus stop what he's doing, come over here and observe this. If we can get this interesting rock and get some metals going, it's going to be huge. Carter's being a jerk. He's all fainting and stuff. He's doing pretty good. 6 construction. Favorites bread and drinking. Favorites are veggie pizza, relaxing in armchairs, Yoko playing darts. So it's always good to actually kind of look at that stuff, and I probably should have. So let's get a dartboard up here, and let's try to get an armchair. At least I can make 2 of them happy. That's actually pretty good. So armchair, metal alloys. Yeah. Oof. I need more metal. All right. I'll have to come back to that, but at least we can get... We got 5 alloys, so at least we can get a dartboard up, and that will help with a lot of the people. So Carter's a little indisposed. I think we should probably get another one of these gents. 25 wood of the 39 that we have. Perfect. It says we need 9 more, but it says we have 39 wood at the same time. Very confusing. Let's just cut this stupid thing down. Wood is going to be hard to get, and we never butchered this gent. That's fine. We have more food than I actually know what to do with. So we're going to leave it all alone. I'm going to let the farming catch up. Otherwise, I think we're doing great. Alice is very, very smart, so he's researching this ridiculously fast. Let's see, what are we working with here? 6 intellect. Pretty good. 5 physical, 5 healing, 4 combat. Talus is just a champion. Okay, so now we can mine all of this. So I'm going to have him start. We can get some ore coming in. This is going to be a big step for us. We need to definitely start harvesting silicone leaves. We have everything to make electronics, we just haven't discovered them yet. Alright. Carter, you come haul this ore, please. There we go. The more flamers we can make, the better. I'm really scared about birds right now. If the birds come, we're screwed. We need to get like a flat gun up. Nice. Silicone now. Nice. There we go. Getting that slime going. This is great. Everything's coming along pretty nicely now. So let's go to craft. Still need to get a few things, but yeah, if we're in a pinch, we can make antibiotics if someone's not in good shape, but harvest those. All right, look at that. They're eating syrup now. So I guess the syrup actually wasn't too bad of a thing. We need a little bit of wood. Ooh, we got some stuff over here, some juice leaf to get. Let's get all the juice leaf we possibly can. A little bit of hypothermia never hurt too many people, I guess. But Let's see, they're back in their clothing. Yeah, we're gonna have to start making armor here soon. Once I can get those metal alloys in, which I believe I have a little bit, now we can start smelting ore. We're gonna do this forever. There's absolutely no reason anybody should not be doing this. I'll have Yoko come over here and do this. Speed this bad boy up, but this is our first foray into metal alloys production. Nice, we got a little bit of meat over here. Probably a little bit of leather. Go. Toxic ash. Just on, right on cue, thanks. Yeah, more spaceship deconstruction, and then hopefully balloons, yeah, antibiotics, things like that. But we should now be able to craft healing bombs at least, yeah. We'll do that until we have at least 10. That's beautiful. Pretty happy about our food situation. It's probably a little too severe. We need to get into pickling for a lot of these feral cactus fruits here can be converted into a pickle. So that's pretty sweet. We have more than enough food. This is actually probably an extreme amount of food for us. So I may have overdone it. I don't think we're going to get too many more people. I plan on converting a lot of grain into fuel once I get the breakthrough technology. So that's, or we can also convert grain into an oil and then create fuel manually. So that's a really good thing to do if you're in a pinch and you really need a bunch of fuel ASAP. But there we go. We got everything that we needed, so we're in good shape. All right, we got 40 aggressive animals. 28 overgrown, 9 are huge, 3 are bloaters. This is going to be a battle. We're going to have to be pretty smart here. Probably do a little bit of zig and zag. We're most likely going to lose this flamethrower. It's going to get blown up. They tend to kind of pile. You need to have 2 of them side by side for them to not be able to surround and beat it fast. It's unfortunate. I'm going to let everybody kind of do their thing before this attack. I'm trying to think, what could I do to make this easier for myself? We don't have enough alloys to build one more flamethrower. That would be the ideal play right here, is get one more dude there. I'm going to have to bump this back just a tad bit. So let me think. I don't have too much scrap. I'm going to put 2 traps there. And I think we're going to do another line of traps. So let's get Carter out there making those traps. Laura. All right, cool. Yeah, I think a little bit more traps is probably going to be what saves us. But we're going to do our best. We're a little bit better. You know, we're better shots. I don't know if we're better people. I doubt it. But I think we're going to do a better job this time. Let's get this show on the road. Got a little bit of action coming. I don't think we're going to get all these traps up. But every trap stops. Every one of these traps that stops one of them is going to make a huge difference. I love the fact that traps, you know, you can use them over and over. Okay, that one was really fast. Okay, let's pause real quick. We want to keep them right here in the flame area. Many of them was weakened flame, so we're weakening them. We're gonna fight as much as we can. Yeah, they're already attacking it, but this is good. I'm gonna let everyone here fight. That's a blower. Okay, let's all gang up on one together, team. Yeah, I knew that would happen. I probably should have ran away and killed it. There's too many of them. All right, we're gonna kill one at a time. Okay, let's kill the bug that's hitting our trap. Or our flamer. And we gotta kill this thing. Alright. Oh, good God, that is a big-ass bug. I'm running. I am running. Everybody run. That is a big bug. Oh, no. He fainted. Okay, we gotta help out our friend so he doesn't get eaten alive. Alright, one of them blew up. That's good. Get the big dude. Okay, now we can get these guys hitting on us. God, dude, this is a nightmare. I think we got this in the bag, though. You can see these flamers really make a huge difference. This is a little sloppy, but it is. Yeah, they got the flamer. All right, we'll repair it. I should. That's why you want to have 2. I also need to put another fence around this area to limit everything. There we go. The big one, yeah, the huge ones we should definitely cut open right now. Okay. Undraft. Alright. Big ones we'll cut open. There's a lot of them. There's a bunch of bloaters. I'll get that. The huge ones, there were 9. Yeah, those things are nasty. Alright. Carter's good. Get out there and get me some bug meat. I need to make a lot of fuel. The repair costs on this are 20 alloys. Oh my god. Yeah. Screwed up. It's okay. We'll get more fuel. I need to get more metal coming in. I need to get that balloon boy out there. Balloon boy! Yeah. We'll get a balloon out and we'll be flying the skies. But that'll be great. That'll be terrific. And these bugs are... We're losing our meats. Got healing bombs, it's good. Can heal burns now. Oh, that's a lot of meat. Nice! We might be able to get some good stuff now. I'm gonna send Carter to work right now on the landing pad. I think if we can get an electronic, we're gonna be in shape. I'd like to get a gun. I'd like to get some... just anything going that's gonna help us out here. Because right now we just got bow and arrows and it's getting dicey. It's getting dicey, I'm not gonna lie. We're like right there on that edge. Alright, repair the fences. Get back to work. But the flamer definitely held up its end of the deal. Did a great job. There we go. Alright, we'll get the maze a little bit better here in a bit too. Get this all more maze-like. Alright. Nice-ish. I did need more scrap, so we can put more traps down at least. Yoko's doing great. I think we're going to hold off on a little bit of this action here momentarily so that we can catch up with the other tasks. Alright, look at us go. We're getting back up. We're going to get back up in no time. Need 9 more metal alloys. Oosh. I think what we're going to do is start busting the scrap down until I have 20 metal alloys. Because I need it. I need it bad. Talus has almost got my balloons up. So we're going to be in good shape there. I think now that we can bust down these salvaged pods, we can really start making some good progress. I think I'm going to have Yoko come out here and help since she's mainly a crafter and I don't believe we need crafting. All right, long distance travel. So hot air balloon. We need 10 metal alloys. Okay. So we're going to put the balloon, I think, honestly, I want it kind of out of the way. I think this is a perfect spot for the balloon right there. Keep it in the middle. Keep it protected. We'll get probably send Yoko, since I don't have any crafting, out to get some metal, some scrap. Anything would be helpful at this point. And I think we're also going to want to copy this and get 2 of these going. And it does look like we have enough stone. Everything's looking good. More scrap. I mean, I'm happy and not happy. I'd like some better materials, but we need everything we can get right now. So yeah, we're doing great. Got lots of bug meat. Alright, antibiotic production. We can start making antibiotics from grain, I believe. Yep. That's the place to be. That is the place to be. Start maybe getting crossbows too. For that piercing. It's not bad. Just a little bit better. Hit chance is much higher. Crit chance is higher. Just a little pricey. Just a little pricey. Nice, we got our flamer back up. We're gonna get our balloon boy going here soon. Just need one more load. There we go. There we go, balloon boy time. Oh yeah, pretty balloons. Now we got a lot of food. I'm not too worried about us starving to death now. It's actually pretty crazy. I think we're gonna have to, I think I'm gonna reduce the field size. We do not need that much. A bit of a dust storm. We just got pickling, so yeah, we'll need more more barrels here soon. There's our balloon. It's beautiful. Perfect. Alright. So we're gonna get some fuel in this bad boy. I think we have quite a bit of fuel. Yeah, 124 with more on the way. We're gonna go off and try to get some more scrap or ore or anything else. Ooh, we have a bit of ore still. So they're slacking. We're in good shape though. I think we're gonna be able to get our second flamer up. But I'll need to maneuver this anywhere else. I'll put it right here. Burning cruise vessel. Perfect. Okay. Well, transporting a bunch of stuff. Experiencing a meltdown. I'll have Talus do it. It's on the way already. Alright. So let's do this. We got a burning vessel. That actually could be pretty good. The burning vessel. It's gonna take 3 days. We're gonna send Yoko. Godspeed, Yoko. Everyone's counting on you. Yeah, because Talus we went for research. No queued research. And everybody else I won't do another jabs. So go to the research desk. We got a bunch. Flare shielding is really important. Electronics crafting. Nice. We must have found electronics. Oh my god. Alright. So we're going to get electronics crafting. We can make... Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad either. We can turn meat into synthetics. And then with synthetics we can make armor. There's a lot of cool stuff here. There's a lot of cool stuff here. Well, we need flare shielding for sure. Refrigeration would be ideal. We need to get... I need to be able... Oh, I see. Because... Oh, okay. You just need to find silicone. You just need silicone to get electronics crafting. I made this way harder on myself than I needed to. It's been a bit. Okay, refrigeration, metal alloys. There's a lot of good stuff going on. Brewing. We can make 5 alcohol from 100 grain. That is not a good return. That is a bad, bad return. Bricks would be smart at some point in the future here. Sleep training. Need less sleep. I like that. I think we're going to go for that. And I think we're going to go for the synthetics. Toolsmithing for sure. Let's keep it right there. That's a good one. I'm really interested to see what we get on this balloon journey. Now we can make coffee. That's actually really cool. Coffee could be a big help to us. So plus 15, 20 grain for 5. It's not bad. Not bad at all. We'll do 5 at a time. We got lots of that stuff. A lot of this is just going to rot, so we need to get into pickling. The biggest kicker is we don't have the wood, and we don't have scrap or anything to make more barrels. So once we get some more stuff coming in, we can start making lots of different types of barrels. So let's take a gander. Go down to production, fermentation. So we could do scrap metal ones. All right. I'm going to do 1. And then I'll copy it. We want to get a few of these going, though, so we can start really mass producing the resources that we need. And it looks like we can now get ourselves a second flamer. So what I'm going to do is bump back all this stuff 1. If I can get this in. Just completely get rid of all this. And gotta get rid of this. Yeah, we're gonna have to replace some of the stuff. Let's just clean this up first and get everything in order. And then I think what we also want to do, if we have the sticks, and we do, is get a secondary perimeter fence so that the bugs can't just walk straight up to us anymore like they have been. We don't want to do wood. I want to do sticks. Alright. Perfect. Expedition complete. Alright. Do that here in a second. So we're going to get all this up. If being difficult, it's being... There we go. Perfect. Alright, let's see what we got. Don't waste time. Look for survivors. Okay. Lungs filled with smoke. We got first aid. Alright. I was hoping for metal and or a person, but we have lots of food, so... Oh, look at that. Alright, so we can do vegetables, pickled vegetables, or antibiotics. I think we should do antibiotics. Really a 50. We'll hold off on pickling for now. I mean, it's good long term, but we don't even really need it. We're doing great the way we are, so we'll leave it alone. Perfect. Okay, so there should be a gate into this area. I don't see my stick door. There we go. Perfect. All right, look at that. Now we'll have 2, so they'll have to come through that. Once I get the other guys over here, it's gonna just be a total flame trap. They'll run side by side and get all messed up. It's gonna be great. I'm kind of pissed off that I only got some med packs, but you know what? We're probably going to get infected, and I'll be happy that I had them, so... Let's get this fence up, but this will keep them from being able to come in and start banging on things. It's very, very beneficial for us. Things are coming along, though. I mean, we're getting the defenses up. This is great. And if they bust into this, the AI has to path through a second fencing, and it has a hard time doing that. It can, It can if you do it wrong. The key is to make sure everything is one piece and not try to... If you put a gate and fence between 2 points of a rock, they can sometimes trigger to try to go through that point. So I found just like keep it one consistent square. All right, we got new research antibiotics. We should... Yeah, I think we can actually now just straight up craft them from cactus slime. Yep. Weapons are still pretty primitive. I mean, we're doing the best we can. Callus is doing the best he can. Getting electronics crafting. That's going to be a huge step up. We're going to get some electricity here soon. All right, we got that tea. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I don't think we really got too much good stuff. So we got cruise ship debris now, though. That's where the good stuff is. So that's where we're going to get our scraps. So, I think we're going to hold off on sending Yoko out until after the next attack, because I kind of feel like something's coming. And we're going to keep everyone here. But we're going to take care of that in the next chapter.